The following podcast has been recorded by LIM.
From taverns across Chicagoland to St. Joe's Park in Joliet to the world of podcasting, they're upholding the good name of Chet Gunderson and letting the old styles flow. They are the lovely, intoxicated men. And this is the Lovely Intoxicated Podcast.
Welcome to the Lovely Intoxicated Podcast. I am PX Pac-Man, the podcast papa, and along with me are the Lovely Intoxicated Men. The thing is, we have to move on and recap what happened at Harvest Havoc. So, where Tony Gabagool went, but he did a really good job recapping this as well on Windy City Slam. So, if you want another perspective, go listen to Windy City Slam. It's the Vic Capri episode. But we had Shogun Chris Logan versus Paulie Tomaselli, which ended in a double countout. Both men were really dominant, and it went to a double countout. After the match, Paulie decided to
issue a challenge to the final level.
Right. And it's going to be Marche Rocket. And it sounded like Hardcore Impact will be facing Shogun and Marche in, I believe, January, they said.
Yep, they said it did the January show.
I believe that's January. Next, there's some continuation.
I guess that will have to be kind of put on hold, possibly, depending on what happens with Magic Inc. this upcoming month.
That's true. But we have Wicked Side Brooks Burna versus Buck Nasty Bucky Collins, a continuation of all the TDC drama. And Bucky Collins won and whispered something in Brooks Burna's ear after that, which was interesting. We'll talk more about that later. Then it was Joseph Von Jaeger versus Rion Skills for the Inter-County Championship. Now, Rion said on the Power Hour that Von Jaeger was going to win because he's younger and he's hungrier. Now, and what was interesting is Rion kept trying to choke out Von Jaeger and had gone on to choke him out at the end, and Rion finished the match and is still Inter-County champion. Next, after this, we had Damien DeChain versus Old Evil Christian Rose. And in this match, Christian Rose made Damien DeChain tap out to the Boston Crab and would not let go after the bell, which brought out Brooks Burna to throw him off of DeChain and out of the ring. And that was the first half of the show. Hot Double J. We had a real good start to the show. Any thoughts on any of those matches?
No, they were all very good matches. You got to see more of Joseph Von Jaeger, which I'm looking forward to seeing, hopefully more of him at future RPW shows. A lot of talent there. I'm looking forward to that final level versus
I think Magic Inc.
Not Magic Inc., but in the January show for that to come up with the Paulie and his partner. I'm blanking on the name of them. I'm going to be honest.
Hardcore something.
Hardcore Craig.
Hardcore Impact.
That's the name of the group. But okay.
Okay. Yeah, and but it was good, and I'm interested to see what happens at the next show, because after the Deshane and Christian Rose match, that's when Brooks Burna challenged Christian Rose to a lights out match. And
Okay, can someone explain to me what a lights out match,
well,
technically
probably
speaking?
at the next episode when we do our predictions, we'll get into those
Well, we'll be
details.
doing it on this episode.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
we'll get to it eventually.
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just got to be patient, coat rack. Stand
Slow
there
down.
and
You
act like a
are
coat rack and just
stand still.
stand still.
Damn it, coat rack. And then I was away, obviously. So Hot Double J, what happened exactly during the Ryan Matthews versus Maximus Orion?
Well, it wasn't so much of a match as it was it ended very quickly. So everyone came out, Maximus went on the attack to the Ryan Matthews, and then Eric Schultz got involved and smacked Maximus Orion in the back with his briefcase filled with what I can imagine are old candies and lunch notes from his mother.
Treated.
And ended in a disqualification with technically Maximus Orion taking the W because of the disqualification. And then the Undeniable came out and proceeded to beat up Maximus.
Next, we had Undeniable Nick Diamond versus Sexy Violent Quinn Whittick and Connor Hopkins. Again, I was away, as I was fading in and out of consciousness backstage. I heard the crowd seemed very loud for this match and really into it. What I could make out.
Yeah, this was probably match of the night.
And I'm glad Karen showed up. I'm glad
I
she came to the show.
I would have been happy if Karen did not show up, because Karen was screaming a lot and, saying that's not their name and whatever. But when Nick Diamond was present, that was a really good athletic showing in that match, which of course ended with Connor Hopkins coming out on top and retaining the Outer Limits Championship. But a great showing from Nick Diamond. I hope to see him more in RPW for how annoying him and Karen can be. He puts on a hell of a match. And then, of course, Sexy Violence, Quinn Whittick. It was both sexy and violent. It was violently sexy, as you would say. And he continues to show why he's, in the top of the Chicagoland wrestling scene. And then, of course, Connor Hopkins being the man who dethroned the King of the North, showing why he was able to do that by coming out with this victory.
Next, we had Master of the Chicago Bear Hug, Steve Michaels versus Darius Luttrell. I saw Luttrell coming in. That is a big dude. And Steve Michaels, he's a big guy himself. I said on JFW, big meaty men bumping meat.
Yep.
I'm assuming that's what that match was.
That was big men bumping meat. It was I was concerned when there was some suplexes that occurred and he was actually able to take Steve Michaels off of his feet. I thought the RPW ring was going to implode, similar to when Brock Lesnar superplexed the Big Show and destroyed the ring on SmackDown that one episode. But of course, Darius Luttrell and his size could not withstand the bear hug that was issued by Steve Michaels, and he ended up walking away with the victory. And in celebration, ripped up a sign from a fan.
Was it Santino?
I don't believe it was Santino. It was a young fan sitting right in front of us, actually.
It was not. That was not Santino.
No, it was not Santino. But also during that match, we had Damian Saint realize that the Nubby was sitting in the crowd, and they got into it. And Damian Saint was furious and asked how he got there. But like he said, like Nubby said on the JFW podcast, and if you haven't listened to it, you know what you can go do. But he showed him his wristband and said he was a paying fan. And it was quite the interaction.
So, you know what? Actually, this is a good time. Dan, did you see what we were trying? Speaking of Turtle, did you see what we were trying to do at the show on the vlog?
Yeah, weren't you trying to have a petition to bring him back?
Yeah, Tony Gabagool did a great job with that.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't there. I could, I know he was one signature off.
I mean, would you have signed it? I mean,
no, you know what, Travis? No, you know what? Look, probably not. I would have had to really think about it. I would have had to really, sit down and really, crush a couple old styles for me to come to a conclusion on that. But I want to say probably not.
I just want to point out a couple different things. One, this whole thing, you know what this whole thing is about, right?
Hawaiian bread.
Hawaiian bread.
I will hold it till the day I die.
And you don't think he should work and have a job just because he likes Hawaiian bread and you don't?
Correct.
Now, Dan, we bonded. We had a great time out in Chicago.
Yeah. You saw turtle races.
We saw turtle racing. Nubby didn't show up. That's okay. We think we've unlocked a conspiracy within RPW. I showed that water bottle who the real water bottle champ is and laid down why Brooks Burn is the best water bottle thrower in the world.
And you yeeted that shit.
I yeeted that shit. But
speaking of Brooks Burner's
I am talking, Coat Rex. Settle down. You're not second in command anymore. Sit there in your nowhere town in the middle of my armpit, Indiana. Anyway, Dan, I disagree with your hatred of the Hawaiian bread. They're great on their own. They make great sliders. I could change your mind. Let me make you some mini sliders. That I'm coming over and I'm gonna make you some mini sliders, and then we're gonna show these RPW fans why Hawaiian bread is great. Hawaiian bread is great because of the mini sliders. And you're gonna look like that. You're gonna look like a fat Cody Rhodes. You're gonna look like the true son of a plumber.
If you could show me that Hawaiian bread is good, I will walk back everything I've said.
You heard it here first, folks. I'm gonna make him some great mini sliders, and it's gonna be a great time. All right, now, Coat Rack, what were you trying to do when you were interrupting me?
Interrupting Coat Rack. You heard about the interrupting
Coat
Rack.
And another thing.
Interrupting Coat Rack.
I missed you, Josh.
I missed you guys too. So anyway.
And another thing. All right, I'm done.
Anyway.
Hey, we got silenced by the PC committee, so don't be throwing those fingers out there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, they don't know what those mean. It's not the real word.
Dude,
come on, dude. What the fuck?
I had to go through a class.
That's a bird. Y'all know it's a bird.
2 hours of my life I'll never get back because I said the word, the F word on this 14 times after I was I think only allocated one.
All right. Let's get to what the Coat Rack had to say. We got more matches we need to talk about.
You guys were talking about Brooks Burner's water bottle.
Yeah.
Has anything been done about what I said in my acceptance speech in September about getting that water bottle out of my ceiling?
It's staying right where it belongs, cemented in history in the ceiling of St. Joe's Park.
Well, I see how important I am around here. That my demands were not met.
Anyway, so after the Chicago Bear Hudson Michaels...
Wait, we don't have a ladder tall enough to reach up there. I had a ladder tall enough to...
Yeah,
the briefcase, Josh. Did you see? I got to.
They don't make ladders that big.
You should have done a shooting star press and grabbed it, Pax, on your training.
He's best shooting star press all around.
Speaking of shooting,
would have been great training for the shooting star press, bro.
In this next match, there was people who could definitely do those and do them well. In the open challenge for the RPW championship between the Dream Breaker, Aaron Stone, defending against
the Light Breaker, Shaq Jordan.
Slayer of Light Equipment, and the enemy of Bill Shelley, because I'm sure he was rolling over somewhere upset about that light. But what?
I have no idea where I could go with that, but I was sitting there. I instantly looked over at Bill to see. I couldn't tell if he was pissed off or not.
Anyway. So that match between Shaq Jordan and Aaron Stone was quite a match. It went back and forth, had us on the edge of our seats, and it ended up with Aaron Stone retaining over Shaq Jordan. And at the end of the match, they embraced and shook hands because that was quite the match. Shaq Jordan has a bright future ahead of him, and that man needs to get a rocket strapped to him because he's going to the moon.
Well, to the top. Rocket to the top ladder match,
which was actually next between Devin August, that wannabe lawyer Eric Schultz, and then the King of the North, Gunner Brave. And that match was very competitive, involved ladders of various sizes, none of which were tall enough to remove that water bottle for you, Coat Rack, unfortunately. There were some times where careers could have been ended in that match due to how things played out, but Gunner fought valiantly against sometimes a 2-on-1 handicap match, it felt like, between the members of the Undeniable trying to get one over on Gunner, but he did not let that deter him. He climbed to the top of that briefcase and grabbed that ladder that PX hung up on top. You know what I said, but reverse it. And became your rocket to the top briefcase holder. All right, Korak, if you're going to talk again, I need you to change that angle because I don't know what we're looking at, and that's better.
And I don't want to know.
Yeah. What were you trying to say as you were interrupting my recap of the show you weren't present at?
A clip that Gunner had posted from that specific match for the Rocket to the Top briefcase, and it had dumb ways to die.
Yes, that is what I said, but in a different way. Thank you.
Fair enough.
I missed ribbing you like this. And then during the match, though, it looked like Eric Schultz was going to win at one point, but then the lights went out and a thunderstorm rolled in. And then when the lights came back on, it was Maximus Orion at the top of that ladder and took Eric Schultz out of the equation, which I believe that is, we have not seen the end of this feud between Maximus and the Undeniable over that game where you build stuff and do the dance on people called Fortnite.
Fork knife.
Yeah, which I have to address something about this. On one of the Maximus's previous streams, he said, I'm bad at Fortnite. Well, now I'm beefing with him because I played that one game and I did pretty all right. So I'm not bad. I'm pretty all right. And I want that to go on the record.
I will have it on the record today that I also played Fortnite today.
And he was pretty all right.
I placed third.
Nice. I did okay at it.
I'm gonna get some dubs.
I have one battle royal in my victories.
Thanks, Coat Rack.
Thanks, Coat Rack.
What are we doing?
All right, now we're back because we just paused the podcast for a second because Hot Double J needed a hot snack. What do you got there, Hot Double J?
Oh, I wish it was your sister, but it's a Little Debbie's Christmas tree cake.
I don't even have a sister.
Well, that's because I wish you had one.
What, is this because you met Smiley McGee's sister at a party?
It is because I met Smiley McGee's sister at a party. How you doing?
All right, in any case, we have Christmas Chaos, the next Rocket Pro Wrestling professional wrestling show, which will take place on December 2nd. We're going to talk about some of these matches.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, we already talked enough about my match, but so we're going to talk about all the other matches. We have a singles match between Lennox Leone versus the master of the Chicago Bear Hug, Steve Michaels. Lennox has been around on the indie scene. I have not personally seen him wrestle before, but from everything that I hear, he's a pretty good talent. But he's also going up against a member of the Undeniable.
I tried to look up Lennox on the social media and could not find him. So I think that just means as much as about how this match is going to go. And Steve is going to hug him so hard.
He's giving him a bear hug for Christmas is what you're saying?
Ooh, yep.
A Christmas gift.
Is this his first time? Is this his first time in Rocket Pro?
I believe so, yes.
Well, word of advice to you. You might as well stay home because he's undeniable. They cheat in every match. So best of luck to you, but I guess my money's on Steve Michaels because we know Damien's going to bring his cane with him.
No, he's going to be in Knox County, Tennessee as the mayor.
Keep that in.
We're keeping that in. The delayed reaction. Damn it.
I just like how quiet it got.
I'm
Because
so
we're trying not to
confused.
laugh.
What is this joke?
It's Kane.
Kane! Glenn
Kane!
Jacobs!
Oh! Oh, I got a little loud.
Why do you gotta get quiet?
Because I live in an apartment.
Oh yeah, I do too.
So do I.
My
do
walls are
too.
super thin.
I got downstairs neighbors. They can hear me all the time when I'm in here doing stuff
Yeah,
And things.
and things.
like talking about the
That's-
second match.
That's not a couch. That's a futon. This place gets moving. Anyway, this second match is a singles match between Damian DeShane and Devin August.
It sure is. TDC versus the Undeniable.
A lot of D's in that match.
And a lot going on with TDC right now.
And a lot going on with the Undeniable. Because we haven't seen Skylar Reed pop up again since
He got chased out by
Darkness
Michael
Falls.
Myers.
Yeah, chased out by and then there was that segment between Damian Saint and the Kings of the Six, and we haven't seen Skylar since then. So I wonder if he's going to come out with Devin to show that support.
And if he does, I mean, then they're going to be undeniably unstoppable.
Exactly.
But with TDC, even, the issue there is they're all not on the same page. Christian Rose would not let go of the Boston Crab.
Right. So you got to think, is Damian DeShane going to be healed up because that Boston Crab was in deep? Is he going to be carrying too much pain going into this match? And is Devin August going to exploit that? But, talking of exploiting things, right into that third match is going to be a no disqualification match for the Intercounty Championship, where the Suburban German, Joseph Von Jaeger, will be going up against the real deal, Rion Skills, in a rematch.
Tony Gabagool's childhood hero.
Listen,
Gabagool.
sometimes you got to close the door to open a window, all right?
I mean, Tony, what did you think of the way that Rion dominated Von Jaeger the last month?
Well, let's use this as a learning experience, Pac-Man, because how long has Von Jaeger been in the business?
He hasn't been in there very long, but I've seen him in a lot of places.
And he's trained, right?
He is.
And you remember seeing his chest afterwards?
Like a hamburger patty.
I'm afraid that might be your chest after December 2nd.
It'd be kind of hard to see it because his chest is very hairy.
Yeah. I don't wax. We're not doing a 40-year-old. And no, I just want to say, for the record, we're not doing a 40-year-old virgin thing where y'all take me to get waxed. That's
because you're a 30-year-old virgin, and yes, we are taking you to get waxed.
We can do the Impractical Jokers way, make you get waxed.
Anyway, I think in this match, because it's no disqualification, I think Joseph might come out with the win here.
Joseph
Jan Jaeger.
He's going to have to get creative. Okay,
He's going to get creative.
Rion's got so
The
much
Rolex.
more experience.
Yeah.
And Rion, this new version of Rion, well, it's the old version that they haven't seen and we haven't seen in a while. But when we see his MO as of late, it's very violent. It's very dark. Now he has the green light to use whatever kind of weapons he wants to bring in. If he wants to bring the Rolex, if he wants to go, hey, maybe he'll, you know what? I bet he'll go grab the curtain after he goes back. Maybe that's why he keeps going back. He's going to grab the curtain rod and beat JVJ with it. What do you think of that?
Very possible. Very possible. And I mean, that's why he's your childhood hero, after all, because he'll do whatever it takes to win.
I think you were frozen a bit, like a Disney movie.
Why am
Just
I-
And you just got to let it go,
You
my
just
friend.
gotta let it go.
It keeps freezing.
Hey,
up
we all
on
thought
me.
of the
Damn it.
same joke.
I'm because I'm wondering where Simp is in all of this, and he's just freezing up my thing again. I thought we were good. I thought we had a truce.
You need some Norton on your computer. Ed
Sure,
Norton to protect your antivirus. Ed Norton's going to get in there.
Oh, he would be good at that. I mean, he played the whole.
Isn't he also the sponsor of this next segment of the LIM podcast? Ed Norton's antivirus. Don't
Wait,
let
I don't
don't
can
let
we do that. He's not even in Rocket Pro.
don't let your internet hulk out on you and cause chaos in your internet browser history. Get Ed Norton antivirus software. Speaking of getting rowdy, we got this next match, number 4, for the Outer Limits Championship between Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins, and the Wild Child Connor Hopkins.
Double J, why are you talking like Tony Gabagool?
I don't know, because I'm tired. And let's go.
It's
I
the
had to look up
dawn.
who Edward Norton was. He's the guy from Fight Club.
Yeah, and he was in the Incredible Hulk movie in 2008.
We could have done Scott Norton.
Oh, we got arm wrestle or Mike Madonna.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Mike Madonna in the background. This song so good.
So good.
What a voice of an angel.
All right, next match is the Lights Out Street Fight. Brooks Burno versus Christian Rose. Loser has to pay the ComEd bill, as Tony
Thank you.
Gabagool said.
Yes,
Mike-
we know, Colt Rack, you're
it's
asking what a lights out match is. Well, it's a no disqualification match that typically takes place after the main card because it's like, hey, the lights out, the show's over. This is unsanctioned, no rules, no referee.
Okay, that's all. I just was curious if, as I was trying to explain this to a friend earlier, and I explained it. I thought that's how I was explaining it right.
Well, did
was
you
the
give it a
unsanctioned.
Google?
I did not because I was
Well,
at
you
work
should
at
have
the
gave
time.
it the Googs. Yeah, yeah.
So
Some wrestling fan you are.
I just wanted to make sure that I at least had it right. I at least got the unsanctioned.
You should
part
just
right.
know. Anyway, I'm sorry. I raised my voice there. I shouldn't have done that. I apologize, Coat Rack. Don't worry. I'm going to hang a coat on you as an apology when next time I see you.
Hey, that'll be next month at Christmas Chaos.
Which everyone should go to. $15 for general admission. Doors open at 4:00. Main card begins at 5. Speaking of the card, we have another match for a triple threat match for the RPW Championship between Shaq Jordan, Sexy Violence, Quinn Whittick, and the Dreambreaker, Aaron Stone. This is going to be probably one of the best matches of the night.
This is going to be a good match, just based on the talent
involved. I feel like it will be a
involved.
contender for match of the year.
I think
will
this
definitely be
is
a
the match
contender.
that I'm looking forward to the most. I don't think any other matches after this are going to hold a candle to this match. Yeah, it will be fun.
It'll be
I
a lot
think
of fun.
I hot take because Quinn Whittick is in this match because after the match that Aaron Stone had with Shaq Jordan at the last pay-per-view in Harvest Havoc, which was not pay-per-view unless you paid for general admission to view it, he came out and attacked Aaron Stone and made his name known that he wants his title back. And considering how Quinn Whittick won the title in the first place, was in a multi-man match, and he might take that advantage again and come out with the victory. And I would like to see that that title belt back around Quinn's waist. I'm not gonna lie, because
I mean,
yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm putting my money on Quinn in this match, honestly.
I mean, I have to kind of.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
sorry, Coat Rack. Go ahead. Don't mind it.
No,
we keep
go ahead,
cutting you
Dan.
off. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Dan. You're the champion. You get to have.
So while those two
I-
squabble, we're just gonna go over to PX. Who do you think is gonna come out on the victory with this match?
So I
I
think
tell you to go, Coat Rack.
that Aaron Stone is going to win this match. I mean,
Nice one,
he's
too.
had experience with both of
one,
these
too, buddy.
opponents and beat them both.
That is
So
very true.
I think he's got a really good chance just on that alone.
All right, Dan, the LIM champ. What do you think?
I will relinquish my spot for a second for Smiley McGee.
All right, Smiley McGee, what do you feel is the outcome of this match?
All right, well, it's been a second, so my thought. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Why do I even try?
I don't know. Anyway. Well, if we were saying that Quinn had the advantage in a multi-person match, he didn't come out in the Outer Limits Championship match the month previous here. So I'm gonna have to say, I feel like we're either gonna see a retain by the champion, or we might even see a Shaq Jordan take advantage of the fact that Quinn will be so involved, for lack of a better term, trying to use his sexy violence side, that Shaq Jordan might just take advantage of that and get a victory.
Interesting. All right, Dan, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts. I mean, you have three very, very agile competitors in that ring. You know, it's going to be a lot of quick movement. You know, I wouldn't say it's going to be. You know, it could be. You know, right out the gates, they could be going straight for it. You know, but I know it's going to be very close. But I have a feeling that either that Aaron Stone is probably going to retain, because I mean he's put on some incredible defenses in the past couple months, and he's just a real good champion. I don't see him losing here.
Those are all good takes.
Gabagool, what say you about all this?
You know what, Pac-Man? I gotta say, I like Quinn Whitlock in this match only because of following the Stone match when he came out and attacked Stone and he lurked over him with that title. That was a scary Quinn. He's got his mindset on that title. He's out for vengeance. My money's on him.
All right. And then we have, my match is next. And I mean, I feel like we've talked enough about that. So let's give it up to the main event of this, Magic Inc. versus the Final Level.
Well, the Magic Inc. are, representing NWA in this match. And that, they're no slouches. If you've ever been able to catch NWA, they are, the Barker, Cody James, and the Magic Bastard, Jake Dumas, are some fierce competitors. But I don't think they can overcome the just sheer talent that is the Final Level. And I believe Final Level will be walking away all day with the titles at the end of this show.
Dan, the LIM champion, what say you?
I want to make it's really cool because, some wrestlers from the NWA are going to be there. Shout out to Billy Corgan. Magic Inc. I don't think, let's be honest here. Final Level, you have two veterans of the Chicagoland area teamed together. Between them, decades of experience in that ring. I think that they're going to walk in with those titles and they're going to walk out with them as well.
And Smiley?
Well, like I always say, I don't feel like Magic Inc. is going to pass the Final Level. Final Level are going to retain like they normally do and go on to face Hardcore Impact in January.
Gabagool? Why are you looking like Where's Waldo?
Listen, anytime you got David Blaine, David Copperfield, or Houdini, or the guy Chris Angel, these guys with the magic, okay? They can do a lot of trickery, a lot of tomfoolery in the ring.
I don't know. Thomas Foolery?
I might be, I'm going to take the long shot here. I'm going to say Magic Inc.
But not Thomas Foolery.
No Thomas Foolery.
Ah, dang. But yeah, no, that is Christmas Chaos. And of course, there's my match again. We talked enough about that, I feel, for one show.
But we haven't given our predictions for it, PX.
Okay. So I'll just shut my mouth on this one, and if that's what you guys want to do, I'll go ahead.
Smiley, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on this match? Because I believe, Gabagool and I have shared our thoughts, and we'll come to what our overall predictions are here in a minute, but I want to start with you. What are you thinking?
Well, gut feeling. I don't want to sit there and not be the bad guy, but I do feel like the Idols might just come out on top in this match. But my heart wants to be in PX's corner and sit there and say that Johnny Nye, C-Red, and PX are going to find a way to sit there and shut the Idols up for good and come away with a victory.
All right. Dan, thoughts?
I'm going to go PX, C-Red, and Johnny Nye. Because you want to know why? Because I want my brother to prove me right.
There you go.
All right. Gabagool.
So I think Danny, we would all agree with you. We all want him to prove us right. And we all want him to make us proud. And we want him to stand up to the bullies. And, I guess my thing is, again, this was hammered through again and again on the Power Hour. And we talked about it tonight. it's you've got your two partners, but it almost is like a 3-on-2 just because of the lack of the training. Maybe if a guy like Steve, who's been sitting on his ass because we helped him get to that. We helped him get a chair. Maybe he could stand up and step up for his fellow Power Hour co-host.
Or better yet,
last night,
use that chair. Use it as a weapon in this no DQ match.
How about it? How about pay it back to the guys that were cheering you on, started a movement so you could sit in the chair? How about next time you go stand on nails? All right. So my prediction, I want it to be PX and C-Red and Johnny Nye, but yeah, that's my prediction. I'm going with you, pal. You have my vote of confidence, brother. I love you.
I love you too, man.
In my prediction, because it is a no DQ match, I am going to side with Johnny Nye, C-Red, and UPX. Not because that I think you can do it. I genuinely do not think you can do it, but because this is a no DQ match, I hope that the boys in the back use this as an opportunity to come to your aid just as much as we show up every Saturday, every month for RPW seasons to support them, to cheer for them, to celebrate in their victories, and root them on from the sidelines. They need to show up and line that ring with their presence to show their support for you, because you've done everything. You helped set up, you helped plug all the shows, you help hype up the talent. You've helped so many of these guys in different ways by just promoting and put their names out there. This is me, Double J, calling out to you, Rocket Pro Wrestling locker room. Show up for PX, show up for C-Red, show up for Johnny Nye. Make sure that this fan does not get hurt. And that's what my prediction is. And I hope it's not more of a prediction. I hope it's a forecast. It's a goddamn guarantee that you show up and use the opportunity of this no DQ match that Damian Saint has put out there, because you can all get involved. You can all fight off the undeniable. You can make sure nobody gets involved. You have the power here. You don't think PX should be in this match? Well, then don't let him. Make sure. Come out there and take out the idols, and then they let them win. And that's going to be my prediction, and I hope it's more than a prediction. I hope that's what we see come December 2nd at Christmas Chaos.
Which will be at St. Joe's Park.
Hey, Pat, you didn't tell us.
Illinois.
You didn't tell us what you thought.
I'm staying out of it.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm staying out of it. I am abstaining from that.
And PX, just one more word of advice. There's always one great equalizer. A sledgehammer.
Oh, I was going to say Jason Statham.
No, that was Denzel.
What movie am I thinking?
The Equalizer is a thing, but that's what Denzel Washington.
All right, we're ending this.
Hey, I've never seen
December 2nd. Doors
St. Joe's Park.
St. Joe's Park. Doors open at 4. Bells at 5. Be there. Be square. Come and support my brother. Come and support the brother of the LIM, the leader of the LIM. And come and support some awesome wrestling.
And
Yeah,
Steve,
exactly.
do something. Quit sitting, Steve. Time to stand up. Stand up, Steve movement is now starting, okay? Stand up and hit somebody with your chair, Steve. Hashtag. Thank you. Good night.
We're closing the tab on this episode. I'm Double J.
I'm Smiley McGee.
When did we start doing our names at the end?
And we all know what we're going to say.
Wait. Time out. Before we do, just because I got to go back to this Equalizer thing. Was it an Equalizer in the movie where Jason Statham's balls were plugged into like an extension cord or something, and he had a lot of power, and if he didn't use that, then he would die or whatever?
No.
What movie am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Somebody Google Jason.
Some messed up movie, apparently.
Well, I think I missed. Wait.
True.
Hold on, I'm Googling it. One second,
we're
fans.
not leaving.
It's Crank. That movie's Crank.
We were not leaving you folks tonight without knowing what the hell I was talking about. Anyway, this is the Lovely Intoxicated podcast, and we have one thing to say until we meet again, and it's this very simple thing.
Shut
up,
up,
Santino!
Santino. Yeah, shut up, Santino.